everyone. Today I want to show a few things that I have ordered on Jackson's. It's a sort of watercolor slash acrylics haul. So here on the far left we have the Caran Museum Aquarelle pencils, which I have ordered 6 colors of to add to my existing little collection here. And then I have ordered 2 new watercolors, new as in to my collection. I haven't tried these before. These are Viridian and Roasted French Ochre. Both of them I bought not necessarily for their color, but for the fact that they are recommended to be used in mixing skin tones when doing portraits, and also for landscapes they're also recommended. So then a few things here which are, to me, I haven't used these Rowney acrylic inks before. I have used a number of acrylic inks and I really enjoy using them with watercolors. So to me that's sort of like a merging point between watercolors and acrylics. Obviously it's not watercolor, but they can be used with watercolor and create really interesting looks. So a couple of colors I got from recommendation, which are these. So this is the Process Magenta, this is dark green, and Payne's Grey. Now Payne's Grey is beautiful grey generally in watercolors, and I love using Payne's Grey, but I'm quite interested in the acrylic ink form, but these other colors that I have here, I bought them to be mixed together to create interesting colors, so they might not be my cup of tea on their own. Then these 2 colors I picked myself. So this is raw sienna and this one is burnt sienna. I think the difference between the System 3 acrylic ink is that it's meant to be a student grade and these are meant to be artist grade. And also I can see it says here opaque, and then you can see some sort of bit of pigment separation here, as well as on the raw sienna. The others don't have that, and as I'm new to these, I'm not entirely sure why it would have this difference in this ink. So it kind of behaves similar to the student grade, but it's a artist grade. It might be something to do with the particular color or something like that. So these are the colors. I think I would be happy to use these colors on their own, but I need to swatch them because, as you can see, they have separated a little. Now a few acrylic paints which are beautiful in the color that they are, but specifically also mixing for mixed media, and I do love combining sort of acrylics and watercolors and play around and create textures and layers and all that, because obviously acrylic paint is fully opaque paint compared to watercolor, which you can water out and have this transparency to it. Now these are the Liquitex heavy body. They're professional, so artist grade watercolors. Now I've never tried the golden, but I have heard a lot of good about it, so that's my first paint, and this is the Titan Buff. So all it means is that it's basically buff titanium. I have buff titanium in watercolor and I love it, so I wanted to have it in the acrylic paint so I can play around a little bit. So the color here is light portrait pink and burnt sienna, and then I have also gone ahead and bought this huge tube, and if you wonder why I bought a big tube, it's because they didn't have a smaller one. Otherwise I would have bought a smaller tube. But this is the Iridescent Bright Gold. I don't have any acrylics that are gold, so I'm quite intrigued. Ooh, this is a pretty gold. I do like that. I wonder how it dries and what it looks like, but definitely would use it as a textural play, maybe with some of these tools on top of watercolor. Why not? It would be really, really fun. and I have also this other one here. So yeah, they're kind of fun to do that with. So I thought I will quickly switch them or swatch them rather out. Hopefully it won't be too long, so that you can see, and that way I don't need to do a separate video on swatching. And I'm going to use my Strathmore. I wonder if I should do it at the back. Yeah, I'll do it at the back. So this is the mixed media. I forgot to mention last time, but I think I left it in the comments, that it's 100% cotton paper, which is fantastic. It says here acid-free and archival quality, and it's 190 GSM. And what else do we need to know? Yeah, that is just great for mixed media. That's all. So let's start at the back, and I'm going to just do the other page here. What was interesting is that I think this pink, yeah, so this pink I saw Irit use. It's the quite impossible to pronounce pink. It's anthraquinoid pink. There you go, had a go. And I thought I knew the name before, like, because I couldn't pronounce it myself, but I didn't have it in the Museum Aquarelle pencil. So then I looked through my collection and I realized that I had this pencil in the Caran pastel pencil. So you can see the colors are slightly different, but basically I had this pencil in another medium. And also, speaking of which, I ordered terracotta, which I was surprised that I didn't have before, but I think I did not. I'm just double checking. The other browns that I have are cinnamon and burnt ochre. So if I hold them next to each other, you can see they're kind of fairly close, but they have a nice tone difference. And again, so the terracotta I had in the pastel pencil right here. So let's see, the other four colors that I got are dark colors. So there's raw amber, brown, which looked beautiful on the swatch on Jackson's, dark plum, and sepia 50%. I love their other two colors here, which I thought it would make a great addition. So the other two that I have already, sepia 10% and burnt sienna 50%. So it's kind of like in the middle sort of thing, and I think those three would work really beautifully together. So I'm going to swatch them out for you. Right, so let's start. Shall I do color coordination? Let's see. Yeah, I'll go like that. Okay, so first one will be anthraquinoid pink. I wonder if I should put anything here to protect this page, just in case. So I'll do a nice big swatch. So this is a beautiful peachy pink. Love, love, love it. And you can see how pigmented it is for a watercolor pencil. That's gorgeous. But the magic happens once the water actually goes on top of it. So that was the anthraquinoid pink. Terracotta. Then we have brown. What a simple name for it, just brown. Great for skin tones, obviously. And then we have sepia 50%. In dry form, it doesn't look like much. But again, I saw Irit swatching the sepia 50% and I really liked it. Dark plum. Now that's a beautiful color. I've got a few dark colors which I really, really like. By the way, here in the card, I'll put the swatches for all of these pencils because they're gorgeous, so you might want to see them. So the other gorgeous intense darks that I have, is Carmine Lake and Crimson Aubergine. So I thought that would make a nice trio right here. It almost seems like it's more intense than the others, but we'll see. And then finally I have Raw Umber. Before I purchased just Umber, and look how different they are. The Umber has more of a greener hue, whereas the Raw Umber has more of this like a browny, muted grey maybe tone. So let's just grab a brush and some water. By the way, it's still hot here, but actually I'm not complaining anymore. I don't know what happened. My body seems to have gotten used to this oh, I just noticed something here. My masking fluid seems to have turned pink for some reason. Anyway, yeah, it seems to have got used to the heat and I don't mind it. I actually enjoy it. I'm wearing a swimsuit right now, if you need to know, and one of those, beach dresses, because I'm not going anywhere. I'm fine with other people going to holidays, but for myself, no thank you. Since having had COVID, I experienced how horrible it can be, and so I just want to stay where it's nice and safe, and I'm not going on any holidays. My holiday is in my garden, and so yeah, I'm just kind of embracing all of my summer and beach wear that I wouldn't get to wear this year, and that's what I'm doing. So as you can see, the colors are super beautiful. Look at that gorgeous color. So that was the 50% sepia. It's beautiful. And the brown, you can see it's not just any brown. It actually has a bit of almost like a granulating or textured feel to it. Oh yes, look at this one. Irit, if you're watching and you still don't have this one, I think you would love it. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. Dark plum. Gorgeous color. Absolutely love it. That excitement you get from swatching things. Here we go. And then the last one is... What is the last one? Raw Umber, that's it. So Raw Umber is super different to Umber. I'll swatch it on a separate card for you so you can see the difference. So straight away you can see it's more of a greener tone, and then that's Umber. There you go, and that's Raw Umber. Very different. Both beautiful though. Completely different colors though. Okay, so we've got that sorted. Next thing I want to do is play with these colors. Now I'm not intending to really... Oh no. Don't escape on me. Let's just squeeze the sides. Nope, doesn't want to. Okay, well, I will have to squeeze it onto a bit of paper here so I can dry it later. And then I'll use some from the cup right here, which is also a bit too much. I don't like wasting any little bit of watercolor, so I'm just going to pack it on. Just pure paint, and now I'm going to show you. So this is, let's see, this is the roasted French ochre. It already seems to have a granulating quality to it. So these are, when I say these, is the roasted French ochre and Viridian. They're supposed to be great for mixing skin tones. Let's see, I mean, I might like it as it is as well. Just going to go straight onto the paper. It's beautiful, this one here. This one's a bit unnatural, but it kind of has an interesting look to it. It's not quite a turquoise, although on camera I can see it almost has a turquoise look to it. So I'm not going to tell you much about these because I want to make a separate video, but let me just do something over here. So if I'm going to take a little bit of this color and then teensy little bit of this color, let's see how they neutralize each other. There's an interesting bit of pigment separation that I get when I'm using these two together. Alright, next thing, let's quickly do, I'm saying quickly, but obviously it's not going to be quick, is it? Let's do these Rowney colors. So I'll start with, should I start? Yeah, let me do it that way. I'll start with the green, the dark green. So there's a pipette on it, on the bottle. And I'm expecting it to be similar to this color here. But let's see. So I'm just going to do some squiggles. Oh my gosh, that's pretty beautiful. All of a sudden Viridian looks a little bit on the dull side, doesn't it? Beautiful color. Okay, I'm taking my words back that I wouldn't use it on its own. I think it's so gorgeously luminous that you could do a lot of fun things with it. Okay, next one is this raw umber. So it has quite an opaque, milky look to it, but look, that's quite beautiful. I like this color. So this is very transparent, and this is not. Oh wow, look at that beauty. That is really gorgeous. See what I mean when I say you can use them as watercolors, and obviously not exactly like watercolors, but in a similar way, and you can use them with watercolors. That's what I find so exciting about mixed media. There's just too much good stuff out there to be not using it, you know, in different ways. That's what art is all about. Okay, so this one is interesting. So it's got that, let's see. Yeah, I mean you can make it a bit more transparent as with the previous one. It's quite nice. I wish it was a little bit more intense. So this is burnt sienna, and look, this burnt sienna in the acrylic form will be very different. You'll see that. Are you loving the color theme here? I'm loving it. So this one I think is supposed to be quite transparent, or similar to the dark green, but let's see. Woohoo! That's beautiful. I like the values that you can get in these acrylic inks. But what I have noticed is that if you leave them quite packed on, they tend to dry with a bit of glossy residue. So the best thing is just to watch how much you apply there to avoid that situation. Okay, so these would be beautiful to mix, but I might do a separate video. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just noticed that you can't see my beautiful Process Magenta. It's an interesting name, isn't it? There we go. Back into view. This is Payne's Grey. I love Payne's Grey. Always did. Even in the beginning of watercolor journey, Payne's Grey has been a color I absolutely adore. Look at that beautifulness. Wouldn't you just think that it's watercolor if you saw it on a swatch like that? I mean, once they dry, they flatten out. They don't have that, you know, granulating look that watercolors can do sometimes. But having said that, I think they're still very beautiful. So I have left myself a little bit of space for acrylics, but I just want to dry these watercolors and then do the acrylic swatches. Isn't this a beautiful color theme already? Love it. Absolutely love it.